Hello traders, welcome back to the Forex Trading Channel. My name's Greg and today this is a bit of a follow-up video. I posted a video regarding the Euro Australian dollar and a potential setup. What I'll do is I'll put a link in the description below and you should see a little icon flash up on the top right hand of your screen. If you want to click that and check out that video first, if you've seen it, we'll just get straight into it. So we were looking at this level here for a manipulation, and basically I just want to do a follow-up video to discuss entries, exits and stops. That gives you a good idea of how I got involved, why I got involved, where I exited, or where I've rolled my stops, where I've rolled my profit to, stops to, and how you can potentially do the same moving forward. So we were looking at this level here. I think when I posted the video, it was just here, and we were looking at this level for a manipulation, and I advised that I was looking for this to continue or for it to consolidate, and that's kind of what it done. We had this little bit of consolidation here, and then we actually dropped down. I picked out a nice little zone here, expecting it to potentially drop down a little bit further, but nonetheless we bounced straight off of this top zone. That's almost to the pip in the video, the previous video, while we were up here, almost to the pip, and as you can see, then we just started to reverse out. The Friday close hit, and come Monday we actually gapped significantly. As you can see, we hit a good target. Then we had the Australian rate decision. They held rates. There was a lot of analysts, strategists advised that there was the potential for them to cut rates. The media was saying it was 50-50, and they held rates. We saw some short-term strength in the Australian dollar, and then for the rest of the week we just continued to rally up, and it's a very nice little good trade, played out well. So let's dive into entries, exits and stops. So you can see here we pushed down below this level and we had this strong rejection, followed by an immediate retest, and all the time buying coming in, buying coming in. We had a push back up. This big bearish candle potentially got some breakout traders involved, and this push up may have got some retracement traders involved. And this candle here, this little bad boy here, is the one that I am really interested in, because in real time or a lower time frame, people would have been looking at this rejection candle here to the upside, and on a 5 minute or 1 minute that would have been looking very bearish. On the 15 minute in real time, that would have been looked quite bearish too. But as you can see, we just pushed down to touch off these lows, and we completely flipped and we closed just above this candle here. And if we look at some volume, we can see that we actually flipped on lower volume than all of these last kind of 4 candles. Okay, so we flipped on lower volume. We tried to push lower, we flipped. Lower volume suggests not too many sellers involved. Great little entry to get involved. If you wanted to have waited, you could have waited until we push back inside this level. And again, we had some kind of pressure. You could have taken this little bearish, this little bullish move back up inside the level if you had wanted to, or waited for this. This was right on the top of the close. I would not have favoured that kind of entry because you don't know what it's going to do. Here, before the Friday close, we could see that it climbed back inside the level, and we had a little bit of selling. It kind of pushed right back above the level. That for me was enough to signal that there's a potential for this to go higher. So let's briefly discuss stops. Obviously, with this bit of structure being here, my preference is always to hide my stop behind a little bit of structure. Now, sometimes with these stop hunts, you won't get any of this structure here. It will just be a series of big strides up like this. Pretend this wasn't here, and then obviously your next bit of structure is going to be all the way down here. Now, obviously, you don't want to put, potentially you don't want to put your stop all the way down here for fear of this rolling over and continuing south. So in that case, you would have to make your decision whether you would put your stop 10 pips below the low, or an ATR, maybe a quarter of or 30% of the daily ATR below the low. My preference was just to hide this kind of I think it was five pips below the low here, so it wasn't a huge stop. As you can see, we pushed up. We were looking for a couple of zones, one of them being this equal completion of a potential equal measured move, which was right up here at this zone here, or this first zone here. We had a 127 and the completion was at the 1414. Let's just double check that. Yeah, so it was just up at this 1414. So after this immediate gap after the weekend, we all know that usually gaps fill reasonably quickly. Sometimes they don't, so it can take weeks and days. But with the Australian rate decision due, certainly wasn't a bad idea. I took 2 positions here, had 1 remaining position, didn't move my stop. We had this rather aggressive push down after the rate decision, and then it climbed out all week. So I guess this was a potential for a second chance opportunity to get involved as well. We pushed right back down, retested kind of this immediate area, which was still within the zone, and then we started to climb out. So if we climbed out and we retested, there's a nice little rejection and a push higher. It was a great opportunity, second chance opportunity to get involved. I could have added a position there. I chose not to. I still had an open position, and I in fact ended up running this all week until this top here. And if we just bounce out to a higher time frame, you will see here that we bounced immediately off of this kind of high here from March. So all in all, great little trade for the week, very productive. You can't go wrong with a few trades like that. So what is in store next? If you're still holding a position, then let's just get rid of that. If you're still holding a position, then we had this little level here. You can see, let's just zoom in a little bit. Had this little level here where there was certainly a few stops hidden. And you can see once again, we had this push down, cleaned out these stops, and now it's just going sideways. So if you do have a position, great place, hide your stops, is under here. However you trade, ATR based, 10, 15 pips below the low here. You can safely say that it's cleaned out some stops. If it's going to move higher from here, it will do so, and if it's not, obviously it will take you out and you've still got some profit banked. Anyway, traders, I hope you like this sort of content. I hope you find it informative. If you do, please give it a like and a share. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button and I will continue to provide these pre-analysis and post-analysis. And as always, don't forget to trade safe and I'll see you in the next one.